Welcome to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. This podcast was designed with you in mind. If you're ready to erase the norm and embrace the truth, come pull up a chair, grab a journal, and tell a friend that your favorite Jersey girl is back with another episode. So let's get into it.
Sorry. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the Blemished Beauty Podcast. And I am your host, Cheryl Renee. Now, we are still in our Survivor series, and this is your trigger warning. A lot of these episodes that you have been listening to or watching, depending on which streaming platform that you're using, you have noticed that these topics of conversation have been a little triggering for some and freeing for others. So I want this to also be your confirmation that just like these people have gone through their storms, you can get through your storms too. Now, in this particular episode, this one is a little special to me. So I'm a little biased because this face you have seen come across the platform a couple of times, but this is my sister, my big sister, my podcasting bestie, like just all the things. I have the pleasure today of sitting down with author Nikki Nicole, and she has decided to finally own her scars. I mean, she's an author, a graphic designer, a podcaster, and she gives her scars out in her books. So you guys have to make sure that you go purchase her books, but she hasn't done it audibly. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to go with it. So she decided to use this as her safe space and take the time to come here and tell us all about her survivor story. So after her interlude or her countdown, as she says on her show, I like you guys to welcome to the stage author Nikki Nicole. You muted.
We doing the same stuff today. What's up? What's up?
We aligned. We still aligned, even in our mistakes.
Boy. Here we go.
Okay, so first of all, let me just say thank you for coming on again and gracing the stage. This time a little more serious because, you know, the last time I was on your show, it was a serious episode for me. So again, aligning again, you had to come back and you know, pay it forward. So I appreciate you for coming on and allowing us to have this opportunity to get something that no one has ever gotten. And that is your survivor story. So I'm super excited about that.
I don't know if I'm excited. It's nerves.
Oh, yeah. You know how I feel when I be on the international Breaking the Slience podcast, child. I'll be nervous, honey. I'd be sitting there like, woo, sweating. I had to make sure I was good and make sure my interludes was good. Cause you know, Breaking the Silence, you be coming down from the ceilings and all kinds of stuff. You don't never know where your picture gonna be when you are Breaking the Silence. So I had to make sure I had to do you right when you came here, child.
You a mess. You had me backstage sweating. I'm like, Lord, my lips ashy?
Oh my God. I love it. So, okay. Everybody knows you as the podcast host, and you love to tell people to break their silence and unleash their inner voice. So now I'm going to give you the opportunity to unleash your voice. And I know you are a survivor of many things, but if you want to just focus on one particular thing, because you got a couple of things you have survived from, you can just share one story in particular of what you have survived.
you put me on the spot like that?
I mean, it's the interview. That's what it's
Ooh, you was supposed to ask the questions, and then I'd be like, you open it up. You open it up. Then I go.
for. Okay, let me ask you a question. I'll ask you a question then. Um, when did you first experience something that you survived from? Like, what was your first survivor story? What was that like? What did you experience in that moment?
Whew. Well, I guess I'll talk about my coming out story.
Okay.
5 years old, I realized that women or girls was something I was attracted to. So I was like, you know what? I can't do this. My mom is like the spiritual head of the church, and I'm just coming from the spiritual background. So, of course, that wasn't going to be acceptable. So I went through life, trying to put this mask on and be this person that I really wasn't, because I knew that it would break my mom's heart for me to take this path and say, okay, I'm gay. So fast forward, I didn't come out until I was 21. Now I had 2 kids at this time, but I finally said, you know what, enough is enough. I'm gonna get the strength and I'm gonna open this door to this closet. And I'm going out, and whoever accepts me, accepts me. Whoever doesn't. I lost a lot of family. I lost a lot of friends, and the ones that kind of like knew, they kind of like stuck around because they knew. But that's a hard decision for anybody, that's in the closet and that's gay and hiding it from everybody, to finally just say, you know what, I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what they feel about me. And a lot of people open this door to the story, and I don't know, it was kind of hard for me to come on here and like open this door, because that was a rough time, man. Like, you go from having everybody to not having nobody but God, which God was there the whole time.
Mhm.
But those are those situations where it's like a wow moment and you're like, "Ain't nobody got me through this but God." So it was one of those situations, but I'm here. I'm still standing through it all, and the most hardest part about that journey was your parent not accepting it. That's the hardest thing, because, you want your parent to love you regardless of what you do in life. And my mom's favorite saying was, I didn't raise no gay child.
Right.
No, you didn't raise a gay child. You raised a great child.
Right.
Happens to be gay,
Mhm.
you know, and there's nothing wrong with me being who I am, because of you, I am who I am. So it took a while for her to realize that it wasn't all about, her raising a gay child. It was the fact that she had a good child. Like, she had a child that listened to her, that barely got any trouble. I was feared my mom. Like, when I say feared, I feared her. I didn't
Yeah.
want no beatings. I didn't want that smoke.
Right.
So I loved her. So, and I still do. So I tried my best to do everything right, because I knew I had this one thing hanging over my head. Like, look, I'm gay. And I don't know if I'm ever gonna tell this story. I don't know if I'm ever gonna come out, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to do everything else right as far as her, because I know this one thing is gonna break her.
I love that you said that, because that gave me like what I with the visuals, right? As you were talking, I thought about the woman with the issue of blood, and how, you were carrying that for almost 15 years or so, knowing that you want to be healed from a thing, meaning you want to be healed from walking into your freedom, and you had to get fed up to the point where you was just like, enough is enough. I don't care. Like, I'm tired of being in hiding. Like, I want to be able to be free and walk into my authenticity. And I think about her, like, she had to get fed up to the point, it took her 12 years, took you about 16, where she got tired of, just walking around and acting like everything is okay when it's not okay, because she's dealing with these internal issues that nobody can see or nobody can feel but her. So I definitely commend you for taking that step, because some people just live their lives for the rest of their lives still stuck and not being able to be who it is that they want to be. I don't know if you ever seen The Best Man. um I don't know which one it was, but the son, I think it was the series, the
Mhm.
son was gay,
Mhm.
and he had a hard time telling his father because his father was this man's man and he played football, but that wasn't who he is. And I think, a lot of the times our parents, they want to, or they have been taught to be the best that they can be and be perfect and stuff like that, and they have these pictures in their mind of what perfection looks like.
Mhm.
But the perfect child, or a healthy child, is someone who is walking in their freedom. Like you said, you didn't raise a gay child, you raised a good child. And that's perfection. You know what I mean? Whatever lifestyle they choose to have or career they choose to make, because a lot of the times that's an issue too. Well, I don't want you to be this, I want you to be that. We have to live under their umbrella.
Yep.
People that have these businesses and they want to pass it down to their kids, but their kids don't want to do nothing concerning their business. So, we have to bring back that your child's well-being, your child being in a good mental health, your child just being able to laugh, to breathe, to grow in their true authentic self
Mhm.
is the best version of them. And we cannot force them to be what we consider the era of perfection, right?
Right.
And then growing into the church, I've grown up into the church too. It's so many, um what's the word I want to use? It's so many things that we are held accountable for.
Mhm.
You gotta be perfect. You gotta wear your dress down to your ankle bone,
Mhm.
and you gotta wear stockings, and you gotta this, that, especially in a Baptist. Like, I
Yep.
grew up Baptist. So, the level of perfection is exhausting.
Mhm.
We talked about that, and it was just like it's a heaviness, because it's like, yo, this is what it takes to be all of that. But then when you get older, you realize it definitely doesn't take all that. Perfection is you just having that relationship with God, and you being honest in who you are and saying, Lord, this is me, use me as you see fit. You let my will align with your will. So a lot of the times we focus so much on the presentation,
Mhm.
we forget about the true preference of what it's supposed to be for. And
Right.
that's to be in alignment with God and his will, and allowing him to use us as, we see fit. Because if we mess around and dwell in whatever people have for us to dwell in, we would be, the mental capacity that we'd be crazy. We'd be
Crazy.
crazy, because so many people have, oh, well, I wanted her to be this, or I wanted him to be that, or what.
Mhm.
I mean, just even now, like our children, I think they have it the best, because they are so free to be themselves, the
Mhm.
creative spaces. Like, we couldn't be content creators back in the day. What's a content? That ain't making no money. Like, you have to be a 9 to 5, or working two jobs, especially for the
Mhm.
men. You got to work two jobs and this, that, and the third. You want to be a content creator. What that look like? Now they
Exactly.
have so many avenues to just be themselves and grow and just live their lives. And I'm not envious, but they don't know how good they have it.
Don't.
They don't know how good they have it. But I'm grateful for platforms like this and yours, because we get to show them, like, y'all really had it good. Your Twisted Tuesdays, when we go from before versus now, they get to
Mhm.
see, like, yo, y'all really went through some stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, man.
y'all really went through some stuff. So another question that I had for you was, what was the moment, what was a light bulb moment for you for you to say, okay, I done had these children, I done did all of these things, but I'm still not happy. It's time for me to walk into, my purpose.
Well, I mean, I can't really recall the exact moment, but I know as a child, I know me being my mom's only daughter, for one, was like a heartbreaking situation because now she thought she had this Barbie doll. She can dress up in dresses and make cute, and put bows in her hair. And then I pop out and I want to dress like a boy. I want to be a tomboy. I want to climb trees. I want to play in the dirt. So I'm sure that broke her heart. That's the part I put in my book. I'm sure that broke her heart because she thought she had a princess. But
Mm-hmm.
I still gave her those moments where she could dress me up. I
Mm-hmm.
went to prom. I went to my junior year prom, my senior year prom. I even went to prom in junior high. I did the nails. I did the hairdo. I did all the things that made me uncomfortable because I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted her to have that moment in her life where she had a princess at some point that she could look
Right.
back at and said, okay, she was a girl. So that moment, I mean, for a while, I was just stuck, like stuck, because I had kids and I had to think about them going to school and how people would treat them and those type of things because they pick on kids that back then that had a gay mom or a gay dad or whatever the case may be. So I thought a lot about them because my mom was like, "You got to think about your kids. You got to think about your kids." Always saying that. So it came at that point where I just was like, I'm tired of like hiding. I'm tired of going to meet this girl over here and nobody know about it because I'm still in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta come out the closet a little bit so we can have a real relationship. There was no real relationship because you had to hide. You couldn't go out in the public and hold hands. You couldn't go out in the public and kiss or hug or whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of people that knew I was gay, but
Mm-hmm.
never spoke on it. They would make accusations or whatever the case may be, but never spoke on it. But it was just to that point, I was just tired. Like I was 5 years old. If I would have stepped out on faith at 5, telling where I would be at this point when it comes down to me coming out. But at the same time, people kept saying it's a phase. They love
Mm.
to say, it's a phase.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
do say that.
I didn't want to hear that. So I didn't want to hear it's a phase. You'll get over it. And when I first came out, that's what my mom would say. It's a phase. You'll get over it. No, it's not. It's my life. And I've been playing with that life all my life because I decided to wait until 21. I had just had my daughter, and I'll never forget this. I had just had my daughter December 21st, 2000. And I was like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna tell the world. Now I done went and said I was gonna tie my tubes and everything, like, I had to because I'd already had in my mind I was coming out on my birthday. My
Right.
21st birthday, I was going to come out to the world and let the world know that I'm done with this. This is who I am. Here I am, accept me for who I am. But I just got tired of living in the shadows. I got tired of not being able to love in people's face, love who I want to love when I wanted to. Not that I'm really about public, display, but I just want to be free to be in a relationship. If I want to bring my girlfriend to the cookout, I could bring my girlfriend to the cookout and they know this is my girlfriend, not my
Mm-hmm.
friend. So it was those kind of situations that I was just like, I'm tired of it. It's time to be real with myself and the world. Scary though, but people say, well, people choose to be gay. No, they don't. A lot of people don't choose to be gay. A lot of people are born that way, and people just need to start doing the research before they just start talking. And I believe I have this conversation a lot with my niece. I really believe that it was in me from then because when the doctor told my mom I was, getting ready to be conceived, he said I was going to be a boy.
Mm.
She didn't know I was a girl until I was born. So I truly believe that it started there, but I ended up being a girl with boy tendencies, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I have that argument with people all the time. I really believed it was in me way back. But because of my spiritual background, I fought it off of me. I'm like, this is not who I'm supposed to be. This is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be this person. I'm supposed to be this person. So I'm trying to constantly be a person that I wasn't. I was never the person to wear nails and get hair done, and I had finger waves in my head. None of that stuff was me, being that girly type, wearing dresses and stuff. But I did it because I'm like, hey, this is who I'm supposed to be. In reality, it wasn't. So, I mean, people got to learn how to live in their truth because it's going to make you happy at the end of the day. I wanted happiness. So I know in order for me to truly be happy, I had to walk out that door and be happy. I was going to get ridiculed. I knew it. I know I was going to, I was scared to a degree because people kill people every day.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. They keep saying it's a choice. Yes, some people do choose it, but the people that really are in the lifestyle, that's a scary thing. You can die. You can lose your life because you're out here saying you're gay.
Yeah.
So why would somebody choose to die? Like,
Right.
let's just
Exactly.
keep it real. Like, people don't choose that. If you choosing that, then something's wrong with you because this is a cruel world out here when it comes down to gay people. And men take the biggest hit. Women don't get the biggest hit, but men die every day because people are jealous of who they are. They're so vibrant, they're so loud. Like, this guy gonna tell me talking about gay people are only meant in the church for choirs to sing on the choir and cook.
Wow.
That's all. God didn't say that.
He did.
So, it's a lot that we have to deal with out here in this world, but I choose to stay in my shell a little bit. I don't be out there in the world like that. I choose to stay to myself because there's so many excuse me. There's so many bad things going on in the world. So I try to stay in my little shell still, even though I'm out there, I'm still in my shell
Mhm.
trying to stay safe.
You First of all, let me just say you was telling your age because you said you had finger waves, and if the generation now heard them, like, what is finger waves? Like, what is that? Like, that is so 90s. That's
Yeah, yeah. My
not
mama
even
used to love
fair.
to throw them finger waves in my head.
I've never had them, but I've always wanted to have them, but I've never had them before. But it was just my mom did though. It's just a lot of gel. I just couldn't do it. No,
You don't want that.
I couldn't do it. But this definitely is not just about sexuality or anything like that. It's about just life in general because there's so many people who are hiding under whatever. They're not happy with their jobs, they're not happy with their spouse, they're not happy with themselves, and they would rather just sit in it than to take a leap of faith and say, yeah, I'm not happy. Like we were talking about on your show, when I was married, a lot of the times people would say, well, this your second time around, sis. Like you gonna have to stick and stay. No, I'm not, because I'm not happy. Like I'm not like I tell anybody this, I'll be Elizabeth Taylor in a minute because she got married 8 times. I get married 8 times until I get it right, child, before I sit there and just be miserable and unhappy because life is too short and we don't know how much time we have, whether it be 50 years or 60 years. That's still short, when you're with people and you're living life and da da da. So you don't know how much time you have, and you want to make the rest of your life the best version of your life. And when we were on Verbal Tea, shout out to the Verbal Tea, we was talking about freedom, and we were talking about how life is on the other side of being free. Like when you are hindered by something, whether it's sexuality or your job or a relationship, you feel so heavy. Life is just it just takes over you. It consumes you. You can't think, you can't move, you can't navigate. But that moment that you decide to step out on your freedom and you decide to say, okay, I'm gonna definitely do what I want to do and set those boundaries and do all the things that you need to do to prioritize your mental health, it's a weight that's lifted off of you. Like just like
Mhm.
with you with your job, like now you're full-time podcasting. The joy I have every time I'm off and I get the opportunity to cut that alarm off and I could wake up whenever I want to. Baby, that'd be the best day ever. But the
Yeah.
next day when I know I got to go to work, it's like I automatically, mentally, I'm just like, it
Right.
starts to start getting heavy again because it's like, all of those expectations. You got to beat the bus and get the Uber and do it. Like it's a million things. And that's for my people that love a good visual, that's the difference of being free It's like being on it, you're having your day off. You can set your day however you want to set it. There's no rules to it. You can just flow the way that you want to flow. And not being free is like being on a strategic time stamp for the rest of your life. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to this, to that. Like, who wants to go through life like that? And I'm just so happy that you have decided to, you know, just take the leap and say, look, this is what I want. This is for my life. Whoever is with me is with me. Whoever is not is not. And I know for you, because you're a sensitive person, a lot of people don't know that, but you're a sensitive person. I can imagine how you felt losing people, because you would automatically assume that those people was going to be there with you forever, friends, family, or whatever the case may be. But how did you get to the point where you decided, okay, even in this, I'm still going to move forward, and I'm going to continue to motivate people, because that's what you do on your podcast, coach people. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, author Nikki Nicole, she going to be the next best life coach in the world. I'm telling y'all now, just like I've told y'all, her podcast is international. She going to be a life coach too, honey. Y'all heard it here first, okay? So when it happened, y'all need to know that I said it first. But how did you get from that point to saying, you know, now I want to give this to other people? I want to be the one to let them break their silence, let them unleash their inner voice. How did you get to that, please?
I mean, like I always tell everybody, Breaking the Silence started. It had to start with me. It had to start with my story. It had to start with me getting out of my shell, because I was quiet when nobody don't believe that. But I was quiet. I was in my shell, and I really didn't talk to people. I didn't really. I'm still kind of in my shell a little bit, because I'm always observing people and how they act with me and how they move with me. So to a degree, when I get in the room with a crowd of people, I'm still quiet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still like, observing people to see if they're approachable. So in a way, I'm still in my shell, but I started it because of that. And then as time went by, I was like, shoot, this can be a platform where not only can I shine the light on people and what they're doing great, because you never know where people started and then where
Mm-hmm.
they end at. So then I was like, okay, I can use this to do that. And I can also get people on here to tell their stories, because people's stories help each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it became a lifelong thing then now to just help other people get there, because I haven't really told my story. People ask me all the time, why you don't advertise your books? Why you don't advertise this or that about it's not about me. It started off as my voice, but that's not what it's about. So I don't advertise myself. And it's the purpose, the perfect place to advertise, of course. But it's about me bringing awareness to other people, me shining the light on other people that are doing great things. And I've met so many amazing people that have come across the platform that's like, where you been?
Right.
So it's like, and I'm sure if I'm feeling that way, somebody else out there feeling the same way. Like, they're great, great artists, great people surviving domestic violence, people that wrote a book, people that are in plays, people that are actors, so many avenues of professions that have come across the platform, coaches, and the coaches are the best.
Yeah.
Ooh, they blow my mind, because it's like every time I get on an interview with them, I'm like, are you talking to me? So it's like they're trying to bring every one of them brings something different out of me. They're
Mhm.
like, you need to do this or you need to do that without actually saying you need to do this. They're like,
Yeah.
it's time to do this and it's time to do that. And I'm like, is it really?
Mhm.
So now I'm starting to trust myself a little bit more to push to do things that I do. Like, I have so many hidden talents I don't even use. And it's not that I don't want to use it. It's because I'm scared, honestly, because it's a lot of things I could be doing, I should be doing, but maybe it's time. I mean, I don't know.
Talent is right, okay? Because like every day I find something new. Like, okay, we got graphic design, we got podcasting, we have photography, we have writing. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. It's always something. It's just like Pandora's box was just open, and you like, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh, play instruments. Like, okay, I'm just like, okay, well, what we doing here? We should be rich by now, because it's like you. Now I was watching this reel, and it was a clip from Marlon Wayans,
Mm,
and I think I sent it to you. And he was on Club Shay Shay, and he was talking about John Witherspoon, rest in peace, John Witherspoon. And he was talking about how John Witherspoon, they didn't want him on NBC to be the father because he was country and all of that stuff, but they decided to trust their instinct, keep him anyway. And then WB picked them up, and it was a hit show. And they took him out to eat one day, and he told Marlon, he was like, you have to get all the keys.
mm,
And he was saying to him, like, you know how a janitor got all the keys? He got the keys to unlock every single door. And I feel like us as a community, we just focus on one key, but we have the
mm,
ability to have all the keys. And, I say that because you have podcasting, you have photography, you have so you have some of the keys, but you're not using all the keys that will open your doors, because you don't know what you might need for this particular thing. And I feel
mm,
like God has given you all of these keys for a reason, because as you go through life, you're going to need one of those keys to unlock a new level. So I
mm.
am so excited to be one of the people to be behind you, to cheer you on, to see, how you grow and glow and motivate and coach and shine the light on people, because you definitely have all the keys. You do. And I'm super excited for you. I'm so blessed to be attached to you, and I'm happy that you took the time to own your scars and just step out on faith and go with how you feel, and not, well, you probably did care how it would come out, but you did it anyway.
Don't make me
And
cry.
that's a Monday motivation for you. Do it anyway, because you don't know what's on the other side of it, but you got to do it anyway, and you did it anyway. And I'm so happy for you. So I'm gonna do you like you do all your guests.
Here we
So
go.
now I'm gonna give you your 30 seconds of fame.
Oh, so the show over now. Oh wow. She didn't even say last question.
Nope, because every time I say that, you be like, last question, last question. I don't like this part, so I didn't even tell you.
You got to give me a last question because you didn't even tell me.
All right.
What?
So I'm not going to do a last question, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. This is your moment, your last moment. You are a coach. You are one of my favorite life coaches. I'm going to give you this opportunity to motivate someone who may be stuck. And I'm using your words. This is your time to motivate somebody who has been stuck, who wants to take this leap to tell people how they feel. And it might not, again, like we said, it might not have to be, sexuality. It might be a job or a relationship, mental, just whatever, who is stuck. And, just motivate them and let them know whatever it is that you're going to let them know. So
Okay.
I'm going to let you do that now.
So, everybody has a moment in their lives where they feel like they're stuck. There's no way out. All the signs are leading to a dead end. You're stuck on a dirt road and nowhere to go. You're bogged down. Everybody gets in those situations where they're in quicksand and you just can't seem to move. You can't seem to get anything right. Lord knows I've been there so many times where I felt like I just couldn't get nothing right and nothing I did went my way. But sometimes you got to look at yourself. And I say this a lot. You have to look at yourself and say, you know what? What am I doing wrong? What could I be doing? What should I be doing? Because everything has to start with you. You have to start taking accountability for the things that happen in your life. And then that's when you can turn everything around. Not everything is going to be good. Not everything is going to go your way. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with going from one failure to the next failure to the next failure, and then boom, there's one success. Then you might still fail again, but you got to be okay with being knocked down just to be lifted back up, because sometimes you have people in your life that's going to lift you up. It can be that simple, that you have people in your life that's motivating you, pushing you, lifting you, even in the days that you don't feel like doing nothing. Because I'm telling you, I have those type of days, but because I have a circle that continues to pour into me and tell me you can do it. Oh, you can do this. You got these many talents. And I don't see these things because I'm just like over here like, child, I ain't even all that great. But at the same time, because of them pouring into me, it's allowing me to pour into myself as well. It's allowing me to tell myself, hey, you can do this. Because Shira said you can do it. Sean said she could do it. Chocolate Drop said I could do it even with the smile. So when you got people pouring into you, even with the littlest things, my kids, my mom, my friends, my family, like, you're going to continuously be the best version of yourself. So if you feel like you're stuck, it's okay. It's okay. Just get up. Get up when you fall. Put some ointment on that bruise, man. Put a band-aid on it. It's gonna heal over time. It may not heal tomorrow, it may not heal the next day, but it's gonna be fine, and you're gonna be fine. But just know that everything starts with you. You are the reason why you're successful. You're the reason why you fail. So if you can't get yourself in check, then you're never ever gonna go to the next level. You're gonna continuously be stuck. And if you're in my shoes where you're out there in the closet, I'm going back to my young 21-year-old. If I could say to that person back then what I know now, don't be nobody that you're not. Take off the mask. Take off the mask, because they're going to love you without that mask, or they're going to love you with that mask. Yes. But walk in your purpose, walk in your truth. Don't allow people to define who you are, because over time, they'll get over it. And you're gonna be great, because why? You're living in your truth and you're free finally. That was the best feeling in my life. I'm not gonna lie. It was the best feeling to walk to that door and open it. Now I knew I was gonna lose people, but you gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with losing people, because everybody can't go to the next level with you. I started on the ground level. And ask me how many people I got now. I've lost a lot of people, but you gotta be okay with losing people, because maybe they're not supposed to be in that season with you. And we keep holding on to those very people that are stopping us from growing, stopping us from getting to the next level. Let go and let God guide you through your life. He got you, but you got to know that He does. You got to have that mustard seed of faith and know that God has your back. I've had those moments where I know it was God without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody else did it but Him. So if you move with God, I promise you everything else is going to be okay. Now I know this is more than 30 seconds, but I could go on and on because I just felt strong to put this. I was impelled to put this message out here, but y'all got to keep going. Know that God got you, and know that you're going to be okay even after the bruises heal. You're going to be okay even when you get that first scar. You're going to be okay because God got you. All right, sis, back to you.
Now, this is why you're my favorite motivator, because you always have the gems. And as you say on your show, you be on your soapbox.
Sure do.
But I want you to tell people where that comes from, because as a life coach, a lot of people, everybody call themselves a life coach. We know that. It's like as many life coaches as there are podcasters. And we also know, just like with podcasting, you have people that love it and people that really pour into it and people that just press play, right? So with life coaching, it's the same thing. Some people just want to be life coaches just because the title sound nice, but there are people who actually have gone through some stuff. So this is another exclusive because a lot of people don't know this about you. Um, what made you want to kind of dabble in the life coaching aspect, because you have all of these keys like I said before. um, what is it about life coaching that intrigues you, and when did that happen? When did that moment say, oh well, yeah, I could be a life coach?
Well, hmm, all my life I've been giving people advice. And like they'll call me and they ask me advice or whatever. And my niece told me one day, she was like, "You need to figure out what that's about, because you need to find a way to use that one day." And it just the light bulb went off when I actually had a group of friends that I had a coach. And when things started happening because of the result of something I said, then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. I might can make this work, because apparently what I'm saying is working and it's helping others." So now I just feel like it's natural. And just like one of the coaches I had on my platform recently was like, you know what? The best coaches have the experiences. And it's good when you can tap into an experience that they might have had, and it's gonna like coach them better because you had that experience, and they're gonna trust you more because you had that experience. So that's why I decided to tap in. I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared though. I'm scared to like, jump into it. I'm doing sessions now, but I'm just really scared about it because I feel like it's, especially if it's somebody close to me, it's gonna attach to me and it's gonna be on my heart. So that's gonna be the hardest part for me to detach everything from me and not feel what they feel, because I'm that type of person anyway. I feel what people feel. So that's gonna be my challenge being a coach, being a coach. But the rewarding part of it is being able to see people shift their lives and be the better version of themselves and be in that relationship happy, and whatever area in their life that they need help, just be the best version of themselves. That's gonna be the rewarding part.
Yeah, because life coaching is near and dear to me because I did a whole month of life coaching in season 3, and I love them because people always assume, well, it's the same thing. Therapy, life coaching, it's the same thing, and it's not. Life coaching is somebody who's like a cheerleader, somebody who can guide you in the right direction, as opposed to therapy. It's a little more in depth.
Mhm.
Like we really like gonna uncover something. So, with life coaching, for my visual people, life coaches are people who will kind of like push you, nudge you in a direction. Or if you play sports, just like coaches will guide you to win a game, that's a life coach. As opposed to a therapist is like someone who will start, if you're digging and you're trying to find like the old scavengers when they used to try to find gold or bones or whatever it is. That's the difference between a life coach and a therapist, because the therapist is going to dig up some stuff that
Mhm.
was rooted in you that probably
Mhm.
didn't know was there. Coaches is going to coach you in a direction and where you want to go. So
Mhm.
for those who don't know the difference, that is the difference. But I love that for you, because just like when I tell you about your Monday motivation, I'll be like, did you write that down? And you like, no, that's just, and I mean, you can go for like 20 minutes, like 15, 20 minutes, and you just talking. And I'm like, you didn't write that down? You like, no, I didn't. So you and Coach Shay, like y'all have a
And I
thing.
love
Y'all
her.
have, because baby, I couldn't do that. Like I couldn't just, I mean, I probably could,
Yes, you
but
could.
it ain't gonna sound as eloquent as how y'all do it.
You can do it. You can do it. Stop saying that I can't.
But yeah, so I mean, y'all definitely have that gift to motivate, to coach people, because usually, like you said, those type of people are the ones who have those friends that always come to them, and people just randomly talk to them while they out at the stove.
Yes, so yes, so
So um that's another way you can know if you're really walking in your purpose, because it doesn't feel like work. It feels like second nature to you. And I had an episode with a life coach Crystal Austin, and I asked her the question, how do you know when you're walking in your purpose? And, we hear that word, especially in the church. We hear that word a lot of the times about walking in your purpose and doing all those things, but we are never told what that feels like or how to get there. And when you know you're in your purpose is when it doesn't feel like it's work, when it's just second nature to you and it just becomes lifeless, like, well, not lifeless, but it becomes like a new life or a breath of fresh air
Mhm.
when you see the accomplishments of what you said. So let me tell y'all the tea, because Arthur Nikki ain't gonna tell you. Now, y'all know the other person that be on this show multiple times is Reverend James H. Glover III. And he has a show called Conversations with Kings. And Author Nikki Nicole was in coach mode one day, right? And she was on the phone with said Kings. And, we talk all the time. I mean, literally every day, all day, we on the phone. And we're talking to James about his show. And I asked the question, I said, people want to know what qualifies y'all as kings. So they were talking. And the thing I love about Nikki is the way she says stuff, she doesn't say it harsh, but she says it in a tone where it makes you like it make you think, how you used to watch Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo used to be like, huh? Like he just be that, like it make you do that, right? So he said something, I forgot how he responded, but she said, y'all are not kings, y'all peasants. And baby, when I tell y'all that stuck with them, I mean, that broke their soul, but not
Swear.
in a way of disrespectful, but it broke their soul to the point of revelation. And that's what good coaches do. Like they put you in a place of revelation so you can see yourself and be like, yo, I'm really walking around here talking about conversations with kings and I'm a peasant. Like they just kept saying it all day. And it was just like, I'm a peasant. I'm a peasant. Like they were so hurt because it was the revelation of, all right, my stuff do stink. And it's so important that we have people around us to tell us that our stuff stinks so we can navigate the tools to change and do better. So that's why life coaching and life coaches are near and dear to my heart, because we are in an era now where everybody want to be labeled and everybody want to
Mhm.
do stuff and everybody want. So now we can really own our scars and we can unleash our inner voice and we can really heal, because you cannot heal what you don't reveal.
That's true.
And it's time out for us to just hide, like you said in the episode, behind the mask. It's time out for that. It's time out for us to say, I'm okay and I'm really not okay.
Mhm.
And get you some people around you that know when you say I'm okay, they're like, no, you're not, because you just said two words. Usually it's a sentence. Or like one time I did this with Nikki and James. I go to bed early, y'all. I mean early. Because I get up early. I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning, sometimes 5 Eastern Standard Time. So I go to bed. I'm listen,
Grandma.
8:30, 9 o'clock. Okay. Grandma, y'all call me whatever y'all want to call me, but sis gonna get her sleep. So one time I was really like emotional. I was boggled down by something. And I told him at 7 o'clock, I'm going to bed. So James did Scooby Doo again. He was like, huh? Like what? 7 o'clock? Oh no, something wrong. 7 o'clock. And that is awesome to me because people don't really pay attention. And we have people around us like family and friends, and I use that word very loosely. We have those people around us, but they don't pay attention. And when you have people that are around you and they pay attention to you, that is a beautiful thing. And I said that to bring it all back around to what Nikki was saying before about the people that she's lost, because now God has, replaced those people with people who pay attention.
Mhm.
And that is an amazing thing. So You know, this is your favorite part of the episode that you hate so much. Um, this is your 30 seconds of fame. I want you to tell the people what's coming up next for author Nikki Nicole. I want you to tell the people what's coming up next for Breaking the Silence. And whatever else you want to tell them, because you got so many hidden talents that you don't
Here you
use and
go.
tell nobody.
Here you go. Here you go. So, Breaking the Silence is getting ready to pivot into season 4 and 5. And Arthur, Nikki Nicole is taking a much needed break. They don't believe me, y'all. They don't believe I'm taking a break, but I'm taking a break this time. I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna go to events. I'm gonna do a little bit of traveling and try to get out there a little bit more. Probably take some pictures, use that photography talent, take some pictures and do some different things. Um, I'm about to embark upon the red carpet experience. This is awesome. It's an awesome experience. From one of my guests actually, invited me to do a red carpet experience, and I'm excited about that. I've never done anything like this before, so we're gonna see how this goes. And of course, there's gonna be footage about that moment. But yeah, after Nikki Nicole is gonna take a break. I'm going to still be rebranding, refocusing, redefining Breaking the Silence, and when I pop back out next year, I'm going to pop out strong and ready. So I hope everybody's ready to break the silence. I hope everybody's ready to hear some of these stories that are going to come to the stage for season 4 and 5. And then season 6, I'm just going to pop out with something new. So get ready, get ready.
Listen, I don't even know what's popping out in season 6. So I'm gonna be sitting there right with y'all, like, oh, what's new? Because let me tell you something. If y'all ever watch Breaking the Silence, right? The production, and I say this, and I'm gonna say this till I'm blue in the face. I've been saying this since day one. The production is top tier. And every season it just get better. And I don't think it could ever get better, but she never ceases to amaze me. It gets better every season. So I'm excited about season 6, and we only in season 4. So I'm excited about season 6 because I want to see what's going to pop out. I want to see what's new. People really might be coming out of the ceiling this time, like I've been saying. We are international already, so we're gonna be worldwide and all across the board. We're gonna be everywhere. Breaking Silence might be on TV, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We never know. Okay, anything is possible with Author Nikki Nicole.
Speak it.
But I thank you for coming on, Sissy, and owning your scars.
And anytime you call upon me, I'm coming.
Yep. So she's gonna be back again because I'm gonna have a round table or 2 or 4. So she's gonna be hosting the round tables, and I hope you guys just enjoyed the episode. I did. I hope you did. So as always, you guys, I want you to remember you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. So until next time, you guys, talk to you later.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to leave a review. You can follow Shira on all major platforms and on YouTube at Shira Renee 510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.